So, I wonder if you know what I'm listening to at the moment. I'll give it away right now. It is on this album here, Are You Experienced? The Jimi Hendrix Experience. And the song is Purple Haze. Because it turns out that today is August the 26th. And on this day in 1967, that song entered the US Billboard 100. I don't know what number it was in on this day, but there it was. It had been released a little bit earlier, and even earlier in Britain, I think. And to my great shame, I never really listened to Jimi Hendrix very much until fairly recently. And I recognise that's a massive gap in my music education, but I'm trying to make up for it now by celebrating this. But something else happened on this day in 1856 as well. It turns out that a chemist by the name of William Perkin in London discovered a synthetic colour, and that colour was called mauvine, or that's really the colour mauve as we call it in British, or mauve as it's called in American, which I've never quite understood. It's sort of M-A-U-V-E, mauve, not mauve. And then I will admit, I sometimes have a hard time with American English. For example, the word that we call boy in English is often called buoy in American English, that thing that bobs around in the sea. And I just wonder, how would you pronounce the word buoyant in that case? If something's buoyant, would it be buoyant? Sometimes it really does my head in. Anyway, I'm wearing purple because it's all obviously a day to celebrate purple. You can't really wear purple around here very much here in Pullman because the arch enemies of the WSU Cougars are, of course, the University of Washington Huskies, and their colour is purple. Even to the extent, I was recently in Walmart, and I was walking past some fold-up duffels, and they were all about $15 each. They're the ones you can pack up and then stretch out 22 inches on, whatever. And they're all about $15, except for the one that was purple, and that was $3.50. So I bought 2 of those for my travels. Anyway, I decided I'd make a purple haze cocktail today, and I looked around, and there's a bunch of recipes, and I tried a load of them, and they were just terrible. So I've decided to come up with one myself. I'm still calling it a purple haze cocktail, but I'm making it a sour, and I'm still trying to get the colour and well, give it a try and see what you think. It's a kind of martini, kind of sour, kind of, I don't know really what it is, but we'll see what it is when I put it all together. It's a vodka-based drink, and I'm using this Lewis & Clark Northwest vodka. It's from Hood River. I'm not really a vodka connoisseur, but this seems to do the trick, and what more can you ask than that? I'm putting in 1.5 ounces of that, but I'm going to need to get something to make this drink purple, and I am using this Chateau Monet, which is a kind of poor man's Chambord, a black raspberry liqueur, and I am going to put in 3/4 of an ounce of that, like so. Next ingredient is going to be some orange curaçao. I mean, fruity number this is. Who could have thought that a Jimi Hendrix inspired cocktail, mauve coloured, would also be a fruity number? But there you go. I just need 1/2 ounce of this stuff. So in some ways it's almost like maybe it's a mix between a sort of martini, a Cosmo, and a sour. It's kind of a bit of everything in this. I want this drink to be hazy, so I'm going to put in some orgeat. And this one, as you can see, is a kind of cloudy version. Some of them are not so much. The ones I tend to prefer are more cloudy, but I don't want to make this drink too sweet. It's already going to be pretty sweet with orange curaçao or any other orange liqueur, plus the Chambord, the black raspberry liqueur. So let's just put in 1/4 ounce of our orgeat almond syrup, like so. Like I said, it's a bit like a kind of cosmopolitan. Someone put in some cranberry juice, which adds with the, makes the colour, and it sort of cuts some of the sweet as well. I say cranberry juice. It's a cranberry juice cocktail, right? It's, I think straight cranberry juice would probably be a little bit on the intense side. And then I've got 2 more ingredients. I lie. I said this is kind of a sour, so we want some lime. sometimes too much lime for me is overpowering, so I'm going to put half of a medium lime, just squeeze it straight into my shaker like that. And then the final ingredient is an egg white to make it nice and frothy and, I hope, extra hazy. So let's go with this. Give it a really good shake. You want to give it a good shake to make it nice and frothy, because really that's what's going to look quite nice there. And then I'm going to strain it. It's pretty icy on the outside here. I'm going to strain this into here, and that is exactly it's almost like a kind of purple milkshake there. Look at that. All frothy on the top. It looks amazing. And then I'm just going to add one adornment. I'm going to get some Angostura bitters and put it on the top, because they're kind of purpley colored. They go kind of brown really, but let's just put some of this on top, and it will create a kind of haze on top of this as well. I don't know if you can see that in the video. I'll hold it up, maybe you can, but let's see what we've got. Ah, that is delicious. Cheers, Jimmy.